Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Live Jai-Alai in the Magic City on the Jai-Alai Channel. I'm Stu Nyman. As always, I am joined by Andrew Bleckman. And together, we will cover every point played today. All Mutuals wagering is now open on today's 8-game performance. Each of today's 8 games will offer Win, Play, Show, Quinella Exacta, and Trifecta wagers. We have a daily double that begins in Game 1. 2 pick threes, an early pick 3 and a late pick 3. We also have the mandatory force out of the high five. That's right. Today is the last day of Pelota for the first half of 2025. So the $2,000 currently stored in the high five jackpot will be forced out in a mandatory payout. Play the high five, correctly pick the winners of games 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Typically, you have to have the only ticket that does it, but consolation payouts will be offered today to clear out that high five. High five takes place beginning in Game 3. We have no scratches in today's performance. Once again, no scratches in today's performance. Today's performance is scratch-free, so with all that in mind, we ask you to make your wagers as early as possible within the scheduled post times. Sit back and relax. Post time for Game 1 is now just 7 minutes away. Andrew, it's the last day of school. How are you?
Hello, Stu. You know, I'm doing well.
Are you?
Mixed emotions, you know, obviously sad that we're departing for a few months, but look, we still got a lot of highlight to play. We got some bonus money to give out. We got the mandatory force out of the jackpot today, that high five. And a great playoff stretch coming up in Battle Court as well. I think Mo Crank alluding to it last night. Alex and Manny winning, was it 4 points in a row? To
talking about
come
Battle
back
Court
and
yesterday?
clinch the match, yeah. Yeah, that match at Alex and Manny against Ferunda and Benny. I think it was 4 in a row and gave the Warriors a shot at the playoffs. Should be a great finish, too, tonight. Fireballs and Cyclones still, we have the #1 seed up for grabs, and that's pretty significant in Battle Court. Again, if there is a 7th tie-breaking match that is needed, that will be chosen by the higher-seeded team. So, could come into play. It's come into play the last couple seasons, and it's really decided our champion. But with about 6 minutes to go until we begin game #1, and as we do before the first game of all performances, we're going to have this video that will explain the scoring format for all 8 games, which today, as every day, is Spectacular 7 scoring.
Spectacular 7 singles games are played with 8 players. Each player wears a different color jersey numbered 1 through 8 on the front. These numbers are traditionally referred to as post numbers. Post numbers are used to signify the order in which the athletes will play in a game. These numbers are also used for betting purposes. Don't be confused by the numbers on the back of our jerseys. Those are just for fun. Each game begins when the player in the post 1 red jersey serves to the player in the post 2 blue jersey. The served ball must land between the 4 and 7 lines marked on the court's side wall. If the ball lands between those lines, the serve is good and play continues until one of those 2 players wins that matchup. The player who loses the matchup exits the court and waits for his next turn at the end of the rotation. It's important to note that every game has 2 rounds. The first 7 matchups in a game make up round 1. Each matchup in round 1 is worth 1 point. Round 2 refers to all matchups that take place after the 7th and final matchup of round 1. The number of matchups in round 2 varies from game to game. And in round 2, each matchup is worth 2 points. The first player to earn 7 points wins the game.
And we are back here now, 5 minutes from the start of game #1.
Lots of folks saying hi in the chat. Jatna, haven't seen you. Know that you do sometimes pop in. Know that you're paying attention. Just wanted to thank Mr. Scott Savin. We appreciate him too. The MC staff will say you're welcome on their behalf, and the players, just kidding. For another great season of Jai-Alai. Each season is better than the last. Thank you. We're also looking forward to the Battle Court semifinals and finals. William, good afternoon. Mo, greetings and thanks always for those fantastic statistics. Steve M, Our first superfan, thank you so much for the continued support. Noel, Richard Poplis, of course. Mr. Marchese. An American Animal. You going to miss us? We'll miss you too.
Yes, we will. Yeah, some questions about, well, when we'll be back, Richard. I know for sure the World Super Court, those dates are published on the website. That will be played September 6th and 7th. So I will assume the next week or
everything begins in September.
Okay.
Is the best way to put it. Everything begins in September.
So nothing before September 6th.
Nothing before that World Super Court
and U.S. National Highlight Championship.
Us and Jack.
Yeah, that weekend.
Weekend.
Right? Yeah. And again, for those looking at a calendar, that is that is the first full week of September. Yeah, that first weekend. The U.S. National Championship will be played Friday, September 5th, and then the World Super Court on the 6th and the 7th.
I believe Battle Court starts on the 9th.
Okay.
I believe that's accurate. Is the 9th a Friday?
Well, the 9th is a Tuesday.
Might be the 8th.
How about a Monday? Yeah.
Might be the 8th. 8th or 9th, I heard mentioned in a conversation.
Okay, could be.
But everything starts happening right around that time. 2 minutes to go for making all wagers in Game 1, the Daily Double. As well, don't forget, force out of the high five. Once again, force out of the high five that begins in Game 3. Less than a minute to go. We're seeing the final first game practice here for El Barba and Gallo. That's been kind of a fun team. CRB. Storylines for the individual highlight players has been really neat. Kubala now fully back from his injury.
Well,
Had to take a whole year off for that ACL.
yes, he did.
He's been playing great.
And these early double standings, we'll give them to you before we begin Game 1. We have a tie for first. Right now, Jed and Cabrera and Ikeda and Bradley both sit with 10 wins. Juice and Ron in third with 8 wins. And there's not a bonus prize associated with it, but still, prize money, individual prize money in each game, and, you know, obviously some pride too. Wow, Mo Crank. Mo Crank is doing one of those, like you walk into, and say, how many gummy bears are in this big tub, you know? That's a good question, Mo. I'll think about it.
Hold on 1 second, because before you go, Herb Angel.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, we're not playing tomorrow. This is the last day of Pelota for 2025, for the first half of 2025. So I appreciate you pointing that out. Don't recall you talking. Nice to hear from you. But, yeah, there are no entries because there's no highlight.
All right, let's begin game number 1. And I'll think about that, Mo. We'll give you an answer.
We're ready to begin our first game. It is a spectacular 7 doubles match. Played to 7 points, with points doubling after the first round of play. Up first and serving, Juice and Ron, receiving in the blue of Post 2, Cool Fitness, and Ben. Here's a catch by Ben. Good catch by Juice. Here's the backhand, powerfully thrown. Ben for the save. That's wide. Point 1. One first up on the board here in our first game. Now bring the court. White shirts, post 3, Bueno in Tennessee. Bueno grabs the serve inside. Placement will score. Point 3. Green shirts, post 4. Ikeda and Bragley. Greetings, Jai-Alai. How are you? Bragley on the forehand, powerfully thrown to the inside. Here's the backhand by Bueno. That ball touched the overhead screen, which is out of play. Point 3. Black shirts, post 5 receiving. Flores and Arta. Here's the backhand by Arta. Rebote. 2 bounces ruled before the rebote was thrown. Point 5. Yellow shirts, post 6. The fancy dancer in the front court. That is none other than Jed in the back court. Cabrera. There's a backhand by Cabrera. Rebote forehand by Arta. Cabrera advances. Backhand 2-all. Stopped by Flores. Flores in the hard backhand. Oh, tipped by Cabrera. Point 5. Five with 2 points. Here's post 7 in the pink shirts. CRB and Kabbalah. Kubal on the catch. Here's the backhand. Into the overhead screen. Point 5. 5 with 3 points here now to complete the first round and receive. Wearing the purple shirts of post 8, El Barba and Gallo. Miss Bragley, good to see you in the chat. Les has had a fantastic season this year. One of his best ever. Here's Gallo on the backhand to the inside. Arta with the reach. Backhand from the 10. Point 8. Last point of the first round goes to the purple shirts post 8, El Barba and Gallo. We've completed the first round of play. Matchups are worth 2 points now through the end of the game. First to return, the blue of post 2, Cool Fitness and Ben. Powerful forehand. Rebote coming out. Ball tipped by El Barba. He was running around it and dropped it. Didn't work. Point 2. The one team receives. Juice and Ron. Here's a backhand by Ben, powerfully thrown. Rebote coming out. Juice on the rebote, high to the front wall and passing. Rebote by Ben, it's a 2-all. Stopped by Juice. Point 1. 3 points for the one team. Juice is serving to the green shirts of post 4, Ikeda and Bragley. Thanks for the compliment, Matt Sutton. Appreciate it. Ikeda picks the serve. Outside placement. Got him. Point 4. White shirts post 3. Bueno in Tennessee.
Good. That's nice.
Tennessee from the forehand. Robote, that rebound off the back wall played by Ikeda. Here's Tennessee. Backhand by Bueno. Scoop by Bragley. Bueno for the rebote. From the left side to the inside. Bragley takes it on the forehand. Ikeda takes that in the air. Cortada stopped by Bueno. Bueno from the 7 line. Bragley from the 11. Tennessee, powerful backhand. Bragley midcourt, deep in the backcourt. That escaped. Point 4. 4 points for the 4 post, receiving the yellow post 6, Jedden and Cabrera. Sorry, Al. 21st century, not going to happen. That would involve going backwards in Jai-Alai. Program's all about going forward in Jai-Alai. Here's the backhand by Cabrera. Maybe one game here now and then. And it's also been discussed 1,000 times. The answer's been no 1,001 times. Forehand takes off, hits the overhead screen, which is out of play, point 6. Pink shirts, post 7 receiving, CRB and Kubala. Here's the backhand by Kubala. Beautiful backhand by Cabrera. Scoop by Cabrera at the 13 line. Powerful backhand follows. Serbi sets up for the rebote. Rebote to the inside. Low runner. Scooped up by Kubala. Here's the backhand. Great catch by Cabrera. Beautiful catch by Kubala. Rebote by Jedden. It's a 2-all. Stopped by CRB. CRB's split placement from the outside. Scores. Point 7. Receiving post 5. Flores and Arta. Point 5. Possible game point 4. The black shirts at post 5. Flores and Arta trying to stop them. El Barba and Gallo. Gallo on the catch, backhand from the 11. It passes. Robote, forehand. Up the middle, caught by Gallo. Gallo, high catch on the left side. Here's the backhand. Catch by Arts at the 13. Flores going for the rebote. That's a tough one. Point goes to the 8. Play will continue. 8 with 3 points. Here's post 2. The blue shirts, Cool Fitness and Ben. There's a backhand by Ben powerfully. Look at El Barba picked that out of the air, but juggling is the call. Point 2. Two with 4 points. Here's post 1. Juice and Ron. Ron advances. Here's the backhand. Ben's there. Robote left side with a light touch. Cool Fitness gets in there, makes the catch. Forehand from the 7. Ron takes it in the air down low. Hard throws stopped by Ben. Backhand from the 11. Robote by Ron to the forehand to Ben. Excellent catch by Cool Fitness. Cool Fitness goes high. Juice for the Juice lost his footing, and he tries to hit wrong with the ball. Wow. You all right? Point goes to 2. Good effort. Possible game point, blue shirts, post 2. Cool Fitness and Ben trying to stop them. Bueno in Tennessee. There's a backhand by Ben. Tennessee from the 11 line. Oh, look at Ben. Nice jump. Good catch. Point in game, post 2, Cool Fitness and Ben. 5 places, 4 shows. Unofficial order finish, 254. Your prices will be up in a moment. Results and prices are official. Coming in first, post 2, Cool Fitness and Ben. Taking second, post 5, Flores and Arta. Coming in third, post 4. Ikeda and Bragley. 254, the official order, finish 4. Game 1. $2 Quinello 2-5. That's first and second any order. $50.60. The trifecta 254, 383 even. $2 wager on 2 to win, $16. Up next, ladies and gentlemen, is game number 2. Game 2 is a spectacular 7 singles match. Play to 7 points. Points will double after the first round of play. Post time for game 2, which begins our first pick 3, is now just 5 minutes away. Good luck. And we have a snappy little video that explains how Jai-Alai is played, right? This form of Jai-Alai? That's what it does?
Yes, take it away.
The main rule of Jai-Alai is simple. Players must catch and return the ball in one fluid motion. Sounds easy enough, right? So how do you win? You can win a matchup simply if your opponent overserves, underserves, or serves the ball out of bounds. On the flip side, your opponent wins the matchup if the serve is so good that you fail to catch and return the ball to the front wall. If your opponent fails to catch the ball before it bounces twice on the ground, or if your opponent's cesta makes contact with the ball but doesn't catch it, then in both of those cases, you win the matchup. You can also win a matchup if the ball bounces around in your opponent's cesta during an attempted catch. This is called juggling, and it's illegal in Jai-Alai. Another way to win a matchup is if your opponent throws the ball and it lands out of bounds on its return from the wall. The overall game strategy for a Jai-Alai player is to make it difficult for an opponent to reach the ball in time or to execute a rebuttal play.
And back here now, 3 minutes from the start of game number 2. And as you noted, Steve, first win for Cool Fitness in Bend this season. I was looking through the stats. It's surprising. They're second in the money finishes in the early doubles game, but they didn't have a win. I guess they were tied for second in the money going into that game, but they're 21st in the money finish. They trail only Ikeda and Bradley, who have 32 of 55 games played in the money for Ikeda Bradley, highest percentage of these early doubles games. Yeah, Mo, pretty incredible. I mean, 8 places, 12 shows, no wins. So obviously, you know, look at the post, and they are in the 2 posts. That will help with some of those in the money finishes, but got to go out there and win those points, and finally able to break through. It was brewing this week because this, honestly, statistically has been one of their best weeks. They had a place in the show already. They were 2 of 2 in the money, and now 3 of 3 after that first game. But getting back to Mo Crank, he asked how many battle court points were played this year. I got to guess. 5,000.
Go ahead and guess.
130 points. That's it.
You should know. You get paid by the point.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be something? You know, process-wise, if you look at the, I think it was a DraftKings or Hard Rock, one of those has like totals for the Jai-Alai matches. They're usually around like 18 to 20, so played 19 points a match, 6 matches a day, and 45 game days this year. Just pretty simple. Damn. Okay, a little more than that, but still, we're on the right track. So Mo, that's interesting. So if you break that down to per match, we're looking at over 20 points a match then, on average. See, the third set does play a pretty big role there. Some matches obviously only go 2 sets, some go 3, so that will impact those numbers. But still, 638 sets, 264 matches played. And we've been here for all of them still. And we got the best game days yet. Finale in the regular season, then the playoffs this week, and the championship next week.
Time to begin game 2. It is a spectacular 7th singles match. Played 7 points. Points double after the first round of play. Serving. And the red shirt of post 1, CRB. Receiving in the blue of post 2, Bueno. A serve. We begin with an overserve. by CRB, point 2. White shirt at post 3, Cabrera receives. Backhand by Cabrera, 2 pass. Forehand took off, hit the overhead screen. That's out of play, point 3. Green shirt, post 4 receiving. Here's Arta. Arta winds up a coastie from the 11 line. It lands wide. Point 3. Receiving in the black shirt at post 5, Ron. Play to the inside, scores for Cabrera, point 3. Throw on the board with 3 points. Here's post 6, Gallo. Point 3. Cabrera has 4 points and the serve. Receiving, pink shirt at post 7. Jedden. There's a backhand by Jedden. Caught by Cabrera. Cabrera goes to the inside, right to the corner. That Rebote's on the wall. That ball takes off, hits the overhead screen, point 3. 5 points for the 3 post. Cabrera. Here now to complete the first round and receive, purple shirt at post 8, Kubala. Here's a backhand by Kubala. Swing and a miss on the forehand Rebote, point 8. We've completed the first round of play. Matchups are worth 2 points now through the end of the game. First to return, the red at post 1, CRB. Hard to the inside it goes. Scoop attempt. Tip, point 8. 8 with 3 points. Post 2 receives. Bueno. Here's the backhand by Bueno. Rebote. Scoop by Bueno. Hard to the inside. Got him, point 2. 2 with 3 points. Here's the green shirt at post 4, returning Arta. Beautiful catch by Bueno up the wall. Arta for the Rebote. High and hard to the inside. Scoop by Bueno. Here's the backhand. Arta, Rebote left side, up the middle. Bueno makes a stop at the 7. Scoop by Arta. Costado attempt hit the pad. Point 2. Possible game point for the blue at post 2. Bueno trying to stop him in black at post 5 is Ron. Bueno on the catch. Here's the backhand. Rebote forehand, low and hard. Ron's there, winding up. Costado 2-all is in the pad, and the pad is bad. Point in game, post 2. Bueno, 3 places, 8 shows. Unofficial order finish, 2-3-8. Your prices will be up in a moment. Results from Game 2 are official. Coming in first, post 2. Bueno taking second, post 3. Cabrera coming in third, post 8. Kubala, 2-3-8. The official order finish for Game 2. There are your prices. Our early daily double, the 2-2 returning $15.20. $2 wager on 2 to win, $5.80. Quinella 2-3, $19. Trifecta 2-3-8, $231.40. Up next, ladies and gentlemen, is Game 3. Game 3 is a spectacular 7 doubles match. Play to 7 points. Points will double after the first round of play. There are no scratches in Game 3. There are no scratches affecting the high 5. There are no scratches in today's performance. Don't forget, today is the last day of Pelota for the first half of 2025. There is a mandatory payout of the high 5 jackpot, minimum $2,000 guarantee for that jackpot. It will be forced out in a mandatory payout today. Play the high 5. It's a pick 5 wager. Correctly pick the winners of games 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Post time for Game 3 in the high 5. 6.5 minutes away. Good luck.
Sure.
Rote save. There's a backhand by Kubala. Rebote coming out. Outside placement by Anderluck scores. There's a backhand by Ben. Carballo on the catch. Backhand. One-handed grab by Carballo at the 10 line. Manu on the catch. Scoop by Nicholas. Ooh, that was pretty. Jairo to the corner, out to the rebote. Forehand, Karam rebote by Benny scores. Thrown hard to pass. Jairo turns, he makes the rebote. Light to the inside. Ricochet winding up. To the inside he goes, Jairo's there. Jairo, split court. Oh, what a catch by Gaucheri. There's a backhand by Manny. 2-all. It's not open. Manny stops it. Sidearm Karam lands in perfect and scores. Jairo on the catch. Scoop by Manu. That's beautiful. Manu on the catch. He winds up. Costello 2-all is in and scores. What a catch by Inaki. What a catch by Jairo. Rebote forehand. Does not pass. Stopped by Jairo. Jairo. What a catch again by Inaki. Douglas powerfully thrown. Gaucheri switches to the rebote. Douglas beautiful catch at the 7 line. Backhand. Thrown just over Gaucheri's head. Gaucheri to the inside. Douglas on the catch. 2-all. Scores.
And folks, that top 10 will take us here. It's about 2 minutes, minute and a half from the start of game number 3. Game 3 begins the high five, which is forced out today, and the pool would indicate such. Nearly 2,000 in the pool alone.
Good to see. American Animal, by all means. Fond remembrances of anyone who introduced you, like someone introduced me, like someone introduced Andrew, to Jai-Alai. Always good to know that it was a positive experience. Less than a minute to go before we begin game 3. Remember, get in all wagers for the high five. It is being forced out. Minimum $2,000 guarantee. Must be emptied out before we conclude Pelota today.
Yeah, and I believe that we're just over the 2,000 with the with what was in the carryover already, plus the pool today.
What was it, like
but let's double,
600
or something
yesterday.
Let's see, 645 plus 80% of that number is over $2,000. So we'll be just over 2,000 if we have one winner, but all that money is going to be paid out, so good luck.
Time to begin game 3 and the high five for today. This is a spectacular 7 doubles match. Play to 7 points. Points double after the first round of play. Up first and serving. Red shirts post 1. Cool Fitness and Ben receiving in the blue at post 2. Juice and Ron. There's the serve. Game 3 has begun. Backhand by Ben. Here's Ron. Backhand from the 11 line. Point one. One team first up on the board in our third game. That'll bring to the court the white shirts of post 3. That's El Barba and Gallo. Gallo reaches down to make the catch. Powerful backhand follows. Ben on the catch. Here's the backhand. Scoop by Ben. He almost hit himself with the ball. And the drop shot dropped into the pad. Ben's, wow, boos from the audience. Ben's dangerous, irresponsible play got him a point. Cool fitness will serve. Back to Jai-Alai. Green shirts post 4. CRB and Kubala. Scoop attempt missed. Point 4. Black shirts post 5. We have Ikeda in the front court with Bragley in the back. Kubala on the backhand from the 12. He goes deep. Bragley's there. Robote forehand. Drop shot by CRB scores, point 4. Yellow shirts post 6 are now receiving. Flores in the front court with Arch in the back. Here's a backhand by Arta. Kubala for the Rebote save. Arta on the catch. Keeps it on the forehand. Cortada. Stop by Kubala. Arta on the catch. Backhand. Arta takes that one on the bounce. Forehand from the 10 line. Catch by CRB. Rebote saved by Arta. CRB is there. Coasty by CRB does not pass. Here's the backhand by Arta. Powerfully thrown, stopped by Kubala. Here's a backhand by Arta. Rebote coming out. There's a backhand by Kubala. Arta's there. Drop shot. Kubala read it. Moves in. Powerful forehand. Scoop. Attempt tipped in the backcourt. Point 4. For 3 points, here's post 7. Bueno in Tennessee. Powerful forehand. Tipped at the 12 line. Point 7. Here now to complete the first round and receive, wearing the purple shirts of post 8, team of Jedden and Cabrera. Excellent catch by Cabrera. Here's the backhand. Tennessee from the 11 line. Ball tipped by Jedden at the 9.7. We've completed the first round of play. All matchups are worth 2 points now through the end of the game. First to return the blue at post 2, Juice and Ron. Ernesto, if that's a joke, I don't know the punchline. I have no idea. If you're referring to one of our players, I still don't have any idea what you're talking about. Here's the backhand by Tennessee. Powerfully thrown, clearing the overhead screen. Rebote for Juice. To the outside it goes. Bueno's there. Carom by Bueno. Opens and scores. 0.7. 4 points for the 7 team. Receiving the white shirts post 3. El Barba and Gallo. Here's Gallo on the catch. Backhand to the inside. 0.3. Three with 2 points. Here's post 1. Cool Fitness and Ben. No, Ernesto. No idea. There's a backhand by Ben. Catch by Gallo. Gallo from the forehand powerfully. Ben stops it at the 10 line. Here's the backhand. El Barba on the backhand. Rebote 2-all from the 10 line. Hits the pad. 0.3. 4 points for the 3 team. Receiving post 5 in the black shirts. Ikeda and Bradley. Cortada serve works. 0.3. Possible game point for the white shirts post 3. El Barba and Gallo trying to stop them. Flores and Arta. Underserve. 0.6. Play continues. 6 on the board with 2 points. Here's post 4. The green shirts return. CRB and Kubala. Here's a backhand by Kubala, powerfully thrown. Arta goes to the corner to make the play. Arta from the 11 line to the inside, wall-to-wall, stopped in the backcourt by Kubala. Fine catch. Rebote forehand. CRB on the catch. Drop shot. That's been working for him. 0.4. Possible game point for the green shirts of post 4, CRB and Kubala. Trying to stop them. Jedden and Cabrera. Cabrera, good catch on the left side. Hard backhand. Low runner scooped up by Kubala. Scoop by Cabrera takes one from the side wall and low. There's the backhand. Kubala's there. Chula for the win. Point of game, post 4. CRB and Kubala. No playoff here. 3 places, 7 shows. Unofficial order finish 4-3-7. Your prices will be up in a moment. $4-3-7 is the official order finish for Game 3. $2 Quinella, 3-4, 43-40. Trifecta, 50-cent price, 4-3-7, 878.25. 3 to place, 23-20. Impressive. Up next, ladies and gentlemen, Game 4, a spectacular 7 singles match. Play to 7 points. Points will double after the first round of play. Post time for Game 4. A little over 5 minutes away. Good luck. Nice catch by Kubala. Backhand from the 10 line. Hit it powerfully from the forehand. Robote 2-all. That is beautifully executed by Kubala to score. Iñaki backhand from the 11 line. Aratz looks for the rebote. Catch by Iñaki. He winds up. Costello 2-all, opens wide and scores. Rebote forehand. Manu's there. 2-all, 0.5. Rotate to the inside. Jairo cuts it off at the 8 line. Here's the backhand, a little lower and harder. Rotate by Benny. Right to the left side of Jairo. Jairo 2-all, another one scored. There's backhand by Naki. Robote, left side, 2-all. That scores. Rotate forehand by Jairo. Caught by Gauchetti. Backhand. Low runner. Rotate save. The big bounce. Stays to the inside. That's on the wall. Catch by Gauchetti. 2-all scores. 0.4. Catch by Rotz. Rotz midcourt. Nicholas is there. 2-all. In. Two all. beautifully executed by Aratz to score. There's a backhand by Manning. Two-all scores, .2. Backhand by CRB. El Barba passes. Robote. Scoop by El Barba. The 2-0 with a light touch. That's beautiful. That scores.
And folks, that top 10 there will take us about a minute from the start of game 4. So the early doubles ends in a tie. Two teams tied at the top. Jed and Cabrera with 10 wins. Ikeda and Bradley with 10 wins. Congratulations to those two teams. Early pick 3 concluding in this 4th game. You see the Will Pays. Now let's begin.
Time to begin game 4. It is a spectacular 7 singles match. Play to 7 points. Points will double after the first round of play. Up first and serving the red shirt of post 1. Goanaga receiving in the blue of post 2. Julin. Goanaga serves. We begin. Here's a backhand by Goanaga, wall to wall from the left side. Robote forehand by Julin. Goanaga's there. Big backhand. Goanaga looking for the Robote at the 7 line. To the inside it goes. Robote forehand saved by Julin. Nicely played. Drop shot. Scores. Hard fought. First point goes to Goanaga. Post 1. Receiving the white shirt of post 3, Iñaki. Ernesto, if you're talking about Robin, he's still in the area. And I think you may see him in September. If only for a couple days. Here's the backhand by Iñaki to the inside. Robote forehand. Scoop by Iñaki. Fakes the 2-all inside. Placement stopped by Goanaga. Good duck. And the point goes to Iñaki. Point 3. Green shirt of post 4 receiving number 23, Ikeda. Ernesto, where have you been? He hasn't played all season. There's backhand by Ikeda, but he's always welcome. Point 3. 3 with 2 points. Here's post 5 in the black shirt. We have Benny. Here's a backhand by Benny. Inyaki's there. Scoop by Iñaki. Here's the backhand. Rebote left side by Iñaki to the inside. Here's Benny from the 8 line to the inside. Point 5. Yellow shirt of post 6. Manny receives. There's the backhand by Manny. Clean miss in the backcourt, point 6. Entering the court, the pink shirt of post 7, Lalu. Here's a backhand by Lalu. Rebote coming out. Lalu to the inside. Manny's there. Here's a backhand from the 8 line. Catch by Manny. Backhand from the 8. On the wall. Rebote forehand by Lalu. Manny advances, takes it in the air. Costado opens and scores. Point 5. 6, rather. 6 with 2 points. Here's post 8. Jairo. This will complete the first round of play. There's a backhand by Jairo. Manny on the backhand from the 9 line. Rebote. Forehand by Jairo. Manny makes the catch. Scoop by Jairo. Karam, a long Karam, scores. Point 6. We've completed the first round of play. Matchups are worth 2 points now through the end of the game. Receiving in the blue post 2, Julian. Here's a backhand by Julian. Catch by Manny. Karam by Manny. A long Karam by Manny scores. Point 6. Possible game point for the yellow shirt of post 6. Manny trying to stop him. Goanaga. Here's a backhand by Goanaga. Manny will take it in the air. Backhand from the 10. Scoop by Manny. Karam by Manny. Goanaga stops it. Powerful forehand. Scoop by Manny. That scoop beautifully. Inside placement will score for the win. Point and game, ladies and gentlemen, to the yellow shirt of post 6, Manny. 6 wins it, 3 places, 5 serves to 1. This is a playoff for 3rd place. Here's the backhand by Goanaga. Benny on the return. Rotate forehand save by Benny. Big bounce brought down by Goenaga. Drop shot. Scores. 1 shows unofficial order finish 6-3-1. Your price will be up in a moment. Winning game 4, post 6. Manny taking second, post 3. Iñaki coming in third, post 1. Goenaga. 6-3-1, the official order finish for our 4th game. There are your prices. The early pick 3, 246. 2 of 3 numbers, 82.60. $2 wager on 6 to win, 940. Quinella, 3-6. First and second in any order, 43.80. Trifecta, 6-3-1, 208.40. Up next, game 5. It is a spectacular 7 doubles match. Play to 7 points. Points doubling after the first round of play. No scratches in game 5. No scratches in the remainder of today's games. Post time for game 5, just at 7 minutes away. Good luck. Don't forget, folks, after this afternoon, so you got 4 more games to put any questions that you might have to us that we're able, of course, to answer. Any thoughts, feelings, stuff like that? Because after today's Pelota performance, no more talking with the audience online. I got a memo that said that, and it said it in that tone. No more talking with the audience online. Just like that. And I was like, wow, sounds serious. So now's your chance.
Come in.
Get those questions in. Otherwise, we're going to subject you to more videos. I mean, we'll play more videos for your enjoyment. It's kind of refined sense of humor that we have back here. It doesn't work for everybody, but, you know, works for me. When does the next Pelota season start? I do not know. I know that there is a date. I do not know what the date is. I believe it is in September. Switch, 3-4.
Yeah, it will not start before September 7th. Sounds similar, but it will not start before September 7th. That we know. That we know for sure, because the tournament weekend, U.S. National Jai-Alai Championship will be played Friday, the 5th of September. World Super Court, 6th and the 7th. So I say probably the 8th is the earliest, but we don't know for sure.
That's the best way to answer that question. So, Andrew, how much longer will you be in South Florida?
Me? How much longer will I be here?
Yeah. When are we planning on? Sorry, I have a song
I have
in
to
my
go to
head.
Detroit. Yeah, I got to go to Detroit. I've actually never been.
Why are you going to Detroit?
For a wedding. Yeah, not willingly.
Oh.
Yeah, you knew that.
It's nice. It's a nice airport. Detroit Fort Wayne, I believe it's called. Yeah, it's a nice airport.
DFW.
DFW. Yeah.
That's the one.
Yeah, you'll be going to DFW. They have this long underground. I mean, a lot of airports, obviously Denver and Atlanta have those long stretches of tunnel underground that take you from, you know, one area to the next.
Oh.
But the one at DFW has lights, has like a little lighting element running up the sides of the walls.
Oh, do that. Okay.
Very exciting.
Yeah. Well, I know Chicago, doesn't they? They have the walkway and they have the lights. That's pretty iconic.
Yes,
in the
that's
United Terminal.
That is absolutely true.
Terminal B or something. I don't know. As a kid, we flew American mostly.
Switch, please.
So I would always ask, like, when do we see the lights? And then as an adult, I realized, you just got to get to the right airline and be in the right terminal, and you can see them whenever you want. Yeah.
And here's an interesting little fact about the airlines.
Yeah, please.
So when an airport wants to expand a a presence, it's usually a public partner. It's a public-private partnership. Like, for instance, when Southwest expanded down here at Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah.
I mean, they built a whole other terminal. It was, we say whole other terminal, but it's now what constitutes Terminal A, the A gates. Yeah. And it's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I believe it's 6 gates they put in at a very high cost. Both the municipality that controls the airport, as well as the airline that will receive the benefits of those gates, put up the money for it.
Oh, so it's not just...
no, it's not just we want to add some gates because, you know, airplanes, you know, they're charged when they land. They charged, you know, to use a gate and the services provided at that gate. Interesting system. I actually thought that I wanted to be in that business for a little while. I mean, besides, you know, that thing that I did for, like, airport management. I just found the whole thing kind of fascinating. Ernesto, same for cruise lines. Back at, so the way, I get your point. So there's been active debate back here about whether or not we should have this type of interaction that we enjoy so much with you guys during Battle Court. And the answer has consistently been no. It's been shot down multiple times. Don't get me wrong, this isn't anything. There's certain hills that you want to, you know, potentially die on, and there are certain arguments. And there's certain arguments that you want to have. This isn't one that I'm willing to die for. I do think that if you're talking about differentiating this sport from any other sport, there is no other sport where you could speak directly to the folks who are doing the play-by-play and color announcing. So I do think that that would be interesting in between points. There's a little bit too much, I would say, because the time periods in between the Battle Court matches are pretty tight. So, you know, my long ramblings aren't exactly fitting for that. I am capable of answering questions in short periods of time. Also, where there's some concern is that, you know, that's the future of Jai-Alai, Battle Court. And we're not sure that DraftKings and Bet Rivers and, of course, Hard Rock, you know, that these folks want an announcer popping off at someone who is in the chat making comments about someone. Like, I was thinking about Ernesto, for instance. It's like, what's the difference between...
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say the other person's name, but like a really positive, and Ernesto's a good guy, right? But between a really positive Jai-Alai fan and Ernesto. The really positive Jai-Alai fan wants to know where the guy is that he's not seeing on the roster within the first 2 weeks of the season.
Yeah.
Not the last day of the season. That's a Jai-Alai fan. Hey, what happened to this guy? You haven't seen him all season at all. We haven't talked about him. Yeah. Nothing. Yeah, that's why I want to know. Where is he? That's your Jai-Alai fan. Your typical long-term Jai-Alai fan. Not you, Steve. Definitely not Mo. But Ernesto, that's something you should wear proudly. Yeah, it's one thing that came up the other day when we were talking about, you know, the future, the past, and all these other good things is what is a Jai-Alai audience like? Because we had an enthusiastic group that was here the other night. And I said, that can cut both ways.
Time. Let's begin.
And it really can cut both ways. Sometimes you get folks in the audience that just, woof.
It was positive on Friday, but, you know.
Absolutely.
It could be, you know.
Absolutely.
We see negative, too. We got game 5. Late
Time to
games.
begin game number 5. It is a spectacular 7 doubles match. Played to 7 points. Points double after the first round of plays. Serving. Red shirts post 1. Douglas and Julian receiving. Blue post 2. Ikeda and Ben. But yeah, it can get a little hairy. People are out there betting hard-earned money on this stuff, and a player doesn't do something that they think is right or whatever it is. Why'd you throw the 2-wall? You should have dropped it inside. Where are you at? And then things about their mother. It's much worse. There's the serve. We begin. Point 2. Now bringing to the court the white shirts at post 3, we have Alex and Rotz. Jim P, absolutely the thin line between love and hate. as an assistant GM of a few facilities, I have been in that unenvious position of tap the person on the shoulder. It's like, hey, could you please, calm down? And then the next step, you're out. Backhand by Ben. This one's caught by Rotz. Powerful, powerful backhand by Rotz. Clears the overhead screen. Ikeda. Forehand rebote. Stopped by Alex. Alex powerfully from the left side. Here's a backhand by Ben. Rotz from the 13. Lifts it deep. Here's a backhand by Rotz. Ball tipped. Point 2. 2 on the board, 2 points. Green shirts post for Urrutia and Lalu. Jai-Alai, the answer to that question is yes. That in 2026, when we move to our new location, which is still in the works, Andrew and I don't know about Andrew. I don't think we've discussed this, but I think Andrew's going. Andrew's told me he'll be there. So, yes, the answer to that is yes. Pretty much, I think the entire program will just be moving.
Yes. I do not have a job otherwise, so I got to stick with it. Sorry, guys, you're stuck with us.
Here's a backhand by Lalu to the inside. Robote, left side to the inside. Big bounce. Excellent catch by Lalu. Ikeda from the 8. Powerful backhand. Caught on the forehand of Lalu. Karam by Lalu. Ikeda makes a stop. Cortada caught the pad, point 4. 4 serves the black shirts of post 5. Iturbide and Nicholas. Oh, first serve, point 5. Yellow shirts post 6 now take the court. Iñaki and Manu. Yes, where the circus goes, the clowns will follow. That is true. There's a backhand by Manu. Nicholas is there. Robote forehand by Iturbide. Naki makes the catch. Here's the backhand. Robote left side. Excellent catch. Powerful costado. What a scoop by Manu. Iturbide calls for it. Missed it just off the tip. Point 6. Now receiving pink shirts of post 7. Jairo and Benny. Richard Populus, you're absolutely right. When the top player on the roster ever does something that the audience doesn't like, they usually let them know that was the case. Saw them do it with Joey, Ara, Michelena, everybody. Here's the catch by Benny. Takes it on the bounce. High to the inside. Manu turns to save the rebote. Here's Jairo. Powerful forehand. Manu turns to save the rebote. Up the middle, Jairo's there. Manu goes to the floor to make the save. Here's Jairo. Outside placement will score. Point 7. Here now to complete the first round and receive purple shirts of post 8. Goanaga and Manny. And George, thanks as always for your support and attention to detail. Here's the backhand by Manny. Benny from the 12 line. Beautiful catch by Benny. Here's a backhand by Goanaga. Benny now from the 11 line. Robote forehand. Rebote forehand by Jairo. Manny makes the catch. Wow. Rebote forehand by Jairo. Konaga's there. Backhand 2-all caught in the air by Jairo. He settles it, returns it. It's stopped by Manny. Rebote forehand. Here's a catch by Benny. Cortada by Benny. Scores 0.7. 7 with 2 points as we complete the first round of play. Matchups are worth 2 points now through the end of the game. First to return, the red of post 1. Douglas and Julian. Yes, Ernesto's bringing back fond memories of the various derogatory names that were used against Miami Jai-Alai players. They were loud, too, and really, really rude. Ball missed in the backcourt, 0.7. 4 points for the 7 post. Receiving, Alex and Arat. Ernesto, actually, oddly enough, Friday night, Manuel Montillo was with us here in the audience. And yeah, used to call him dirty, but man, did that guy have a cortada. We were just talking about it. Literally, in my opinion, the best consistent cortada in professional Jai-Alai that I've ever seen. Here's a backhand by Aratz. Alex is there. Backhand from the 8 line to the inside. Wall to wall and out to the rebote. Aratz on the catch. Backhand from the 11 line. Benny on the forehand from the 12. That kicks. Good catch by Alex. Benny on the catch at the 11 again. Lower and harder. Alex is there. Down low. Backhand powerfully thrown wall to wall. Scoop by Benny. Good catch by Benny. Here's the backhand from the 11. Benny on the catch. Here's the backhand from the 9 to the inside. Aratz. Jairo makes the catch. Scoop attempt, clean miss, and a great save by Aratz. Here's Jairo. Backhand from the 5, right to the corner, out to the rebote. Alex is there. Benny on the bounce. Backhand from the 10. Rebote forehand. Splitter. Stop by Jairo. Jairo drops it inside. Alex gets there. Costi stopped by Benny. Benny to the inside, and Alex is there. Aratz now from the 10 line. Backhand 2-all. Caught in the air by Jairo. Cortada by Jairo off the frame of Alex Acesta, 0.7. Straight points to a possible game point for the pink of post 7. Jairo and Benny trying to stop them. Ikeda and Ben. Ernesto, you were saying you saw something going on with Alex's backhand? The reverse? I think Alex is fine. There's a backhand by Ben. Rebote right up the middle. Backhand by Ikeda. Benny from the forehand, a little lower. Good catch by Ben. Backhand from the 13. Ball tipped off the scoop attempt. Point in game, a perfect game for the pink shirts of post 7. Jairo and Benny. 7 wins it, 2 places, 4, 5, and 6 playoff for third place, 4 first serves to 5. Here's a backhand by Nicholas. What a catch by Urrutia. Backhand from the 9 line. Lalu on the catch. Hard to the inside it goes. Nicholas is there. Backhand. Rebote to the inside. Rebote. Rebote forehand. Excellent catch by Nicholas. Here's Lalu. Cortada stopped. Backhand. Point 5. Possible show point for the 5 team. Iturbide and Nicholas trying to stop them. Iñaki and Manu. Here's a backhand by Manu. Rebote. Forehand, outside placement. Wow. Point and show, post 5. Iturbide and Nicholas. 7-2-5, unofficial order finish for game 5. Results from Game 5 are official. Coming in first, post 7. Jairo and Benny taking second, post 2. Kate and Ben coming in third, post 5. Iturbide and Nicholas. 7-2-5, the official order finish for our 5th game. There are your prices. $2 Quinella, $2.7, $45. Trifecta, $7.25, $488.60. Up next, ladies and gentlemen, is game number 6. It is a spectacular 7 singles match. Played to 7 points, with points doubling after the first round of play. No scratches in game 6, and post time is now just 5 minutes away.
So you're still ahead by 1. So worst case, you tie. Who are the 2 teams? Each beat A and
Inaki from the left side. What a catch there by Hyro up the wall. Backhand played at the 9. Here's Inaki. Costado inside. Hyro coming back for it. Hyro digs it out. That's a nice save.
Nice pickup by CRB. Backhand to the outside. 1-0 for the Rebote. 2-all Rebote. CRB gets there, grabs it. Forehand, passing. That 3-wall play. What a beautiful save by Bueno. Filo read by Douglas, stopped by Douglas. Fakes the 2-all, caught by Gaucheri. Gaucheri to the inside. Douglas makes another great catch. Fakes the 2-all, puts this one light. Gaucheri on the run. What a phenomenal diving save. That's a beautiful one-handed save by Flores. Costado to the inside. Forehand Rebote. Julin cuts it off the 8 line. Scoop by Ikeda. Outside placement, read and stopped by Julin. Ikeda sets up for the Rebote. That lands perfectly to score.
Backhand by Tennessee. Kubala. Fall down Rebote. 2-wall. Tennessee just does get out there. Forehand over the top. Kubala now scrambling. He digs it out.
Rotate forehand by Carballo. Beautifully thrown. 2-all. Caught in the air by Carballo. Powerful forehand. Robbins looking for Rebote. He dug that out. Rebote left side to the middle. Scooped up by Carballo. Low and hard to the inside. Scooped by Bueno. That's beautiful at the 9 line. Backhand to the outside. Carballo loses his footing. Gets up. Makes the Rebote save. Manu's there. Backhand from the 8 line. What a save by Manny.
Folks, that top 10 there will take us under a minute till the start of Game 6. So Jairo and Benny winning game number 5 just a few moments ago. That is their 8th win this double season. Remember, Gosheri and Ben are in second place with 9 wins. Iturbide and Nicholas have 8 wins. Now Jairo and Benny have 8 wins. A chance for those two teams to tie for second place coming up in Game 7. Before that, some singles, Game 6.
I do recall from last year, there was no playoff for second place. We just divided the prize money 4 ways.
Yes, that's usually what we do.
Time to begin Game 6, spectacular 7 scoring. Singles match, Arrutia serves, Iñaki receives. There's the serve, we begin. Forehand Rebote, 2 pass. Rebote left side. To the inside. Will score, point 2. Iñaki first on the board here in our 6th game. Receiving, white opposed 3, Arat.
You always did.
Here's the backhand by Arat. It passes. Two all opens wide and scores. That's well thrown by Iñaki. Point 2. 2 with 2 points. Here's post 4. Iturbide. See, Ernesto, this is why no one wants to talk to you. You didn't have to put that second sentence in there. It wasn't a sentence. For those of you who want to know, leave it at that. And who think you know, they don't think they know. Why even add that to it? You must be on drink 3 by now. Forehand Rebote is up, in a way that's out of play. Point 2. 2 with 3 points. Here is the black shirt of post 5, worn by Alex. Two. Okay, that's reasonable. So that's like 2 ounces or 4 ounces? Or 2 full cups or 2 bottles you've gone through by now. Here's the backhand by Alex. Notice I said that on Alex's backhand, which you criticized earlier. Rebote, forehand by Alex to the inside. Here's Iñaki. Iñaki 2 all will score. 4 points for Iñaki in the blue of post 2, receiving post 6. Nicholas. Here's the backhand by Nicholas. Powerful throw. To the corner, Rebote forehand by Iñaki. Rebote forehand to the inside. Nicholas is there. Rebote forehand for the big bounce. Nicholas, great catch. Backhand from the 7 line. Nicholas will keep it on the costado. The 2 all will score. Point 6. Entering the court, pink shirt of post 7. Manu. Rebote forehand by Nicholas. Catch by Manu. Scoop by Manu. Here's the backhand, 2-all. Landed out, 0.6. 6 with 2 points. Here's post 8. To complete the first round of play, we have Douglas. Here's a backhand by Douglas. Two all by Douglas scores. Douglas gets the last point of the first round. All matchups are worth 2 points now through the end of the game. First to return, the red post 1, Urrutia. Beautiful throw to the inside by Urrutia. Douglas gets back in there, goes for another 2-all. That one didn't work out quite so as well as the first one. 0.1. 1 with 2 points. Here's the white shirt of post 3, Rats. Rebote forehand. Hard throw to the outside. 2-all by Arats. Red by Urrutia. Stopped by Urrutia. Urrutia throws it powerfully, crossing and scoring 0.1. 4 points for the one post, serving to post 4. Iturbide. Backhand by Iturbide. Urrutia. To the inside, what a scoop by Iturbide. Costello 2-all, stopped by Urrutia. Urrutia goes high. Iturbide makes the catch. Urrutia almost overran that. Comes up with a clutch catch on the left side. Rebote back to the inside. Urrutia takes this one in the air. Ball tipped, 0.4. 4 with 2 points. Here's post 5. Alex. There's a backhand by Alex. 2-all, 2 score. Beautifully thrown by Iturbide, 0.4. Iturbide has 4 points. He's serving the blue post 2, Iñaki. Backhand by Iñaki to the inside. Iturbide's there. Rebote. It's a 2-all. Stopped by Iturbide. Inside placement scores for Iñaki. 0.2. Possible game point for Iñaki in the blue post 2. Trying to stop him, Manu. Here's a backhand by Manu. Rebote left side. Big bounce, 2-all. Inaki got that clean. That's nice. The return, scooped up by Manu. Manu with the backhand 2-all. Inaki stops that one, too. The carom will score. Wow. Lots going on during the end of that point. Line game, post 2. Inaki. 2 wins it. 1 serves to 4. This is a playoff 4, second and third. There's the backhand by Iturbide. Drop shot. Iturbide takes off, gets it before the second bounce. Tremendous effort by Urrutia to try to make that play. 4 places, 1 shows. Unofficial order finish. 2-4-1. Your prices will be up in a moment. I was about to say, I hope he gets up soon. Results from Game 6 are now official. Coming in first, post 2. Inaki taking second, post 4. Iturbide coming in third, post 1. Urrutia, 2-4-1. The official order finish 4. Game number 6. And there are your prices. $2 quinella, $2-4, $16. The trifecta, 2-4-1, $176.40. $2 wager on 2 to win, $9 up. Next, ladies and gentlemen, is Game 7. A spectacular 7 doubles match. Played to 7 points. Points double after the first round of play. There are no scratches in Game 7. Game 7 will conclude the high 5. Don't forget the high 5 today, mandatory payout. Post time for Game 7. Now 7 minutes away. Good luck. Drop shot. Hyro, what happened? Robote forehand. Beautiful catch by Bueno. Robote forehand to the inside. Scoop by Bueno. Drop shot. Beautifully executed by Bueno. Here's the backhand by Nicholas. Catch by Inaki. Drop shot. Will score.
Bradley on the bounce, outside placement attempt. Stopped by Anderluck. Anderluck, his carom, lands in. Bradley's going to get out to it. He returns a drop shot. My, oh my.
Scoop by El Barba. Backhand to the inside. That's well thrown. Excellent catch by Flores. Here's El Barba. Drop shot. Scores on the second bounce. the backhand by Bueno. Scoop by Bueno. Cortada, stopped by Carballo. Drop shot by Carballo, beautifully executed and scoring. Rotate to the inside. This one caught in the air by Jairo. Jairo on the backhand. Rotate forehand. Jairo on the catch. Drop shot by Jairo. Scores on the second bounce. Rotz, forehand rotated pass, dropping. Rotate left side by Rotz. Gaucheri attacks, has it. Wow, that was beautiful. Outside placement read by Aratz. Aratz read by Manu. Backhand by Manu, lower and harder. Bote, placed to the inside. Manu's there, winding up. Drop shot. That was perfect. By Aratz. There's the backhand. Gaucheri's there. Aratz commits to the backcourt. Here's the backhand from the 12 line. Gaucheri from the 10. Long drop shot. Aratz will not get there.
And folks, that top 10 there takes us about a minute and a half from the start of Game 7. Let's take a look here. Yeah, so it looks like the 2, still a consolation payout, but today is a force-out day, and you see 4 or 5 numbers will pay out over $2,200 there if the 2 wins. And some decent payouts across the board. 3 of 5 numbers pays 170, 240, over 300. But that too would be 1 winner and the full force out today, which is $2,217.50. We'll see you up next. Good luck. Let's get you up to speed on the double standings. After their win in Game 5, Jairo and Benny have now tied 3rd place with 8 wins, joining Iturbide and Nicholas. But Gaucheri and Ben still 1 win ahead. They're in 2nd place with 9 wins. So if Iturbide and Nicholas win, they'll tie for 2nd with Gaucheri and Ben. If Jairo and Benny win, they'll tie for 2nd with Gaucheri and Ben. And if any other team wins, Gaucheri and Ben will finish in solo 2nd place.
Congratulations to whoever's got post 2
Yeah.
in the high 5 force out.
One winner. We'll see how it goes. 7th game. Yep, right about now, let's begin.
Ladies and gentlemen, time to begin Game 7. It is a spectacular 7 doubles match. Played to 7 points, with points doubling after the first round of play. Up first and serving, the red shirts post 1, Iñaki and Manu. Receiving in the blue post 2, Bueno and Ben. Iñaki serves, we begin. Ben on the backhand. Beautiful catch by Ben, pulling that off the wall at the 11 line. Point one. Receiving the white shirts of post 3, Jairo and Benny. Here's a backhand by Benny, powerfully thrown. What a catch by Iñaki at the 9 line. Manu from the 11 to the inside. Rabote. Forehand by Jairo. Wow, the Magic City bounce took it way to the middle of the court. On Iñaki. Iñaki in the side wall. A tale of two loves. Point 3. Green shirts, post 4 receiving. Urrutia and Lalu. Lalu on the backhand to the inside. Benny is going to scoop that up on the forehand. Tough grab. Lalu with the 9. Backhand. Rabote. Hooked. Point 3. Three with 2 points. Here's post 5. The black shirts receive. Douglas and Julian. Julian on the catch. Powerful throw to the inside. What a catch by Benny, reaching up on the left side. Douglas is there. Rabote is dropping and saved by Jairo. Douglas winding up. Costavo 2-all, perfectly executed and scoring. Point 5. Yellow shirts at post 6. Alex and Aratz receive. There's the backhand by Aratz. Julian on the backhand. Aratz to the inside. What a catch by Douglas with a hop at the 9 line. Julian takes it on the bounce at the 12. Hard throw up the middle. Stopped by Alex. Drop shot. 2 players take off. Julian gets there. Backhand. Caught by Aratz. 2-all. Stopped by Julian. Carom by Julian is in and scores. A well-played point by all 4 players. What was Julian doing all the way up front over there? Point 5. Pink shirts, post 7. Iturbide and Nicholas. Scoop by Nicholas. Cortada by Nicholas Douglas Costado. It scores, 0.5. What's gotten into that boy? Purple shirts post 8 to complete the first round of play. Goanaga and Manny. No, that can't possibly be it. No, seriously. Julian on the forehand to the inside. Powerful backhand by Douglas. Manny will take this on the bounce. Julian now from the 12 line to the inside. Manny from the 12 over the top. Julian's there. Robote. Point 8. Last point of the first round goes to the Purple Shirts post 8. We've completed the first round of play. Matchups are worth 2 points now through the end of the game. First to return, the blue post 2. Bueno and Ben. Here's a backhand by Ben, powerfully thrown. Robote coming out. Ball tipped, point 8. Assault, I saw it. Okay, red shirts post 1. Iñaki and Manu receive. Inaki picks the serve, drop shot, scores on the second bounce, point 1. 1 with 3 points, serving to post 4. Arrutia and Lalu. Here's the backhand by Lalu. Robote. Robote left side by Arrutia. Big bounce brought down by Manu. Robote left side to the inside. Point 1. Possible game point for the red shirts of post 1. Iñaki and Manu trying to stop them. Jairo and Benny. Beautiful catch by Benny deep in the backcourt. Nice return. Here's Manu. Manu powerfully from the left side. Backhand by Benny. Lower and harder. Inaki at the side wall. Great catch. Powerful, powerful backhand. Robote coming low. Jairo makes the save. Manu takes it on the bounce. The 12. Robote forehand by Jairo. Manu is there. Robote forehand by Iñaki. Caught by Benny at the 11 line. catch by Iñaki on the forehand. Cortada scores. Point and game 2. The Red of post 1. Finishing off their season in first place, Iñaki and Manu. 5 serves to 8. This is a playoff for second and third. Just waiting for Douglas to get his cesta tied. That ball stays inside. Manny makes the catch. Douglas is there. Backhand. Low bullet. Beautiful save by Goenaga. Douglas on the forehand. Manny reads it, stops it in the air. Julian turns to save the rebote. Beautiful catch by Goenaga. The Philo scores. 8 places, 5 shows. Unofficial order finish 185. Your prices will be up in a moment. Results from our 7th gamer official coming in first, post 1, Iñaki and Manu. Taking second, post 8, Goenaga Manny. Coming in third, post 5, Douglas and Julian. 185, the official order finish for our 7th game. There are your prices. $2 Quinella, 1.8, 24.20. The trifecta, 185, 473 even. $2 wager on 1 to win, $8.80. And the high 5 forced out. $1 high 5, 46721, 4 of 5 numbers in the constellation, paying $739.10. Up next, ladies and gentlemen, is our 8th and final game for Pelota in the first half of 2025. A spectacular 7 singles match, played to 7 points. Points double after the first round of play. Game 8 will close out the pick 3. No scratches in our 8th game. And remember, this is in advance of Battle Court at 5 p.m. when the Fireballs will take on the Cyclones. Post time for Game 8. Now just about 5 minutes away. Good luck.
Miami a hustle city, man. Everybody got more than one gig. One stop, boy, $20.
I'm not your neighborhood Uber driver. I do luxury. And then I have another job. I play highlight.
I have this crazy idea. Do you think we could send something out to all the ex-athletes for the last 20 years and say, we're looking to hire and train highlight players?
When I first got the email, I thought it was pranking me.
I need some clarity on this.
I went on YouTube and I Googled highlight.
I was like, Jai-Alai.
They paying us, man, and we can win big money.
Let me see what this is all about.
That's what you gotta do. Get some money.
The players taking the court are all athletes you may recognize.
Baseball, football, track and field.
Having the work, play Division I sport, and then I had a child on the way, so I dropped out.
The crack era was tough. Sports in general was a way out of our environment.
It's really game time now, man. Blood, sweat, and tears. We got the streets on fire.
This is gonna be the first time that my kids will be able to sit in the audience and root for their father.
Who wants it more?
This is a sacrifice I think is going to pay off in the end.
This is a dream for me.
I gotta win.
Can't get drama better than this.
Highlight became the new hustle.
Let's get ready to play.
And folks, that was a trailer for the award-winning documentary about the inaugural season of play right here at Magic City. That is called Magic City Hustle. Directed by Billy Corbin, creator of Cocaine Cowboys, Screwball the U, and much more. This film highlights the transition of these Magic City athletes from their respective careers in other sports right here to the High Life fronton. Let's get into Battle Court, though. We'll cut it off there, folks. Magic City Hustle, check it out. It's a great read. But Battle Court tonight isn't a great read. It's a great watch. But Battle Court tonight is its final regular season game day in advance of the postseason. Fireballs and Cyclones tonight will get started with doubles. La Luna Rons take on Ikeda Manu. Then Jed and Cabrera go up against Bueno and Rock. Then over to singles, we'll see Ron against Ikeda. Back to doubles, La Luna and Cabrera against Bueno and Omega Reyna. Returning to singles with Arats against Manu. And then finishing it off with third division doubles, Arutia and Ron against Inaki and Omega Reyna. So those will be the 6 matches in order tonight. When the Fireballs take on the Cyclones. So after last night's game day, the Warriors have clinched their playoff spot.
You need to explain, because there is some importance to Fireballs winning to them.
Well, yes, for the Fireballs today. So the Fireballs, they need to tie or win the game day, and they will regain the #1 seed.
Got it.
If the Fireballs lose today's game day, the Devils will be the #1 seed. The Fireballs will be the 2.
And in the matchups, it's the #1 seed plays the number 4.
Right. 1 plays 4, 2 plays 3.
Okay.
Yeah, the Warriors are the 4 seed. The Renegades are the 3 seed.
I know that you and Scott were trying to make it more complicated than that, but I was like, guys, there's nothing left. There's literally nothing left. It's like you had 4 teams and you made it as complicated as possible, and that's it.
I think it's pretty simple, you know?
You only had 4 teams.
Yeah.
There's only so many things you could do with 4 teams.
No, that's the only way you can do it, really. You know, top seed plays the final team to qualify, second and third, and, you know, the 2 semifinalists play off in the championship. The schedule this week, we are playing tonight, as Stu said. That's Battle Court, Fireballs and Cyclones. Friday will be one of the 2 semifinals. Now, I don't know if I could say this, but I'm going to say it because you'll find out in 2 hours anyway. But the Renegades are playing Sunday. So whoever doesn't play the Renegades will be playing on Friday night. So if the Fireballs tie, all right, here we go. If the Fireballs tie or win the game day, Fireballs and Warriors will be on Friday night.
Got it.
If the Fireballs lose the game day, it will be Devils, Warriors on Friday, and Fireballs, Renegades on Sunday.
Now it says 0 minutes. Now it's time to begin.
If you have any questions, folks, let me know. Game number 8. Close out the Pelota.
Time to begin game number 8. Final Pelota game for the first half of 2025 here at Magic City. A spectacular 7 singles match played to 7 points. Points will double after the first round of play. Serving in the red shirt of post 1 is Goenaga. Receiving in the blue of post 2, Nicholas. Goenaga serves. We begin. Here's a backhand by Nicholas. Robote, left side, is out. Point 2. Nicholas first up on the board in our 8th game. That'll bring to the court the white shirt, post 3, Arutia. The serve, crossing the wall and scoring, point 2. Receiving, green shirt of post 4, worn by Douglas. Here's a backhand by Douglas. Ball tipped at the sidewall, point 4. Douglas will serve to the black shirt at post 5, worn by Iturbide. There's a message on my phone that says, tell Andrew to call me as soon as you're finished. Sounds like you're in trouble.
Uh-oh.
Someone didn't like hearing about that Renegade Sunday thing. Robote coming out. Robote forehand by Douglas. For the record, I warned him, but he doesn't listen to me. Inside placement down low, scores, point 5. Receiving in the yellow shirt at post 6, Manu. Here's a catch by Manu. Here's the backhand. That's in play. Manu makes the catch. Sidearm carom. Stopped by Iturbide. Manu, great catch. Low runner to the inside. Will score. Point 6. Receiving in the Pinka post 7, number 87, Arat. Here's the backhand by Aratz. Aratz from the 2-all. That scores. Point 7. Here now to complete the first round and receive in the purple shirt at post 8. Number 66, Golden Boy. Alex. He missed it. Here's a backhand by Alex. Aratz is there. Backhand from the 11 line. That clears the overhead screen. Robote. Forehand. 2-all. Opens wide and scores. Well thrown by Aratz. Point 7. We've completed the first round of play. Matchups are worth 2 points now through the end of the game. First to return, the red at post 1, Goanaga. Here's the backhand by Goanaga. Aratz on the catch. Costado, a little clip off the side wall, gave Goanaga enough to work with. The 2-all scores. 1-1. Wong with 2 points, serving to post 3, Urrutia. Backhand by Urrutia. Robote left side for the big bounce. Urrutia comes in, cuts it off, rifles it. Scooped up by Goanaga. Goanaga hard to the inside. Urrutia is there. Backhand. Robote. Scoop by Urrutia. There's the backhand from the 7 line. 2-all. Too low. Point 3. Three with 2 points. Here's post 2. Nicholas. There's a backhand by Nicholas. Scoop. Beautiful by Nicholas there on the left side. Here's Urrutia. Costi to the inside. Scoop up high by Nicholas. Rebote forehand. Hit the screen. Point 3. Urrutia with 4 points. Serving to the green at post 4. Worn by Douglas. Stop hitting the fucking cage. You're not even pissed off about anything. There's a backhand by Douglas. Costado inside will score. Point 4. 4 with 3 points. Here's post 5. Iturbide. You didn't even catch it. I know. Off the tip. There's the backhand by Douglas. Outside placement. Stopped by Douglas. He got that off. Iturbide. Costalo 2-all. This is out. Point 4. Possible game point. Green shirt post 4. Douglas trying to stop him. Manu. Yeah, absolutely. Here's a backhand by Manu to the inside, right to the corner, out to the rebote, played by Douglas. Backhand by Douglas. Rebote forehand. Douglas is there. Costalo inside, caught in the air by Manu. Rebote forehand, right up the middle. Manu's there, winding up. Costalo 2-all. Lands perfectly to score. Point 6. 6 on the board, 3 points. Here's post 8. Alex. What a serve by Manu. Traditional ace right to the corner. Point 6. Possible game point for Manu. Trying to stop him. Arats. Here's the backhand by Arats. Arats read that well, comes out. Saves by passing. Almost. Manu has it. Backhand. Arats to the inside. Manu. Great catch, great control. There's the backhand. It passes. Manu, beautiful catch. The Philo is wide. Point 7. Play continues. 7 on the board with 4 points. Serving to post 1. Goanaga. High A. Games have been great. Thank you. There's a backhand by Goanaga. Arats from the 12 line. Rebote, that took off. Hit the overhead screen. Point 7. Possible game point for the pink shirt of post 7 Arats. Trying to stop him, Nicholas. Robote, forehand by Rotz. Stopped by Nicholas. Nicholas, low and hard. Caught in the air by Rotz. Backhand to the corner. Out to the Robote. Rotz committed to the backcourt to make that catch in the air. Ball tip, point 2. Play continues again. 2 has 4, 3 has 4. Nicholas serves to Urrutia. Over serve, point 3. 3 with 6 points and a possible game point. Trying to stop him, the black at post 5, Iturbide. Urrutia from the 9 line, powerfully. Outside placement of the forehand Robote is out. Point and game, post 3, Urrutia. 3 wins at 7 places, 4 serves to 6. This is a playoff for 3rd place. Robote forehand by Douglas, powerfully thrown. Robote comes to the left side of Manu. 2-all with a light touch. Read by Manu. He makes the catch. Hard throw. Stopped by Douglas. Douglas to the inside. Manu's going to chase it down. He gets to the Robote, but did not make the play. Four shows. Unofficial order finished. 3-7-4. Your price will be up in a moment. Results from our 8th game are official. $2 wager on 3 to win, $22.80. The Quinella 3-7, first and second in any order, $129.60. Trifecta 3-7-4, $427.80. The late pick 3. 2-1-3, 3 of 3 numbers returning $173.10. And that, ladies and gentlemen, will do it for this Tuesday afternoon performance of Live Jai-Alai in the Magic City on the Jai-Alai Channel. That will also complete the Pelota performances for the first half of 2025. On behalf of the players, staff, and management of Battle Court Jai-Alai, Magic City Jai-Alai, and the World Jai-Alai League, we thank you for tuning in and invite you to join us at 5 p.m., just about an hour from now, when the Fireballs will take on the Cyclones. Yeah, that's all I got. Have a good day, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thanks, guys. See you at Battle Court.